Hello, as you can see, it's like 10:30 p.m. and the finals just dropped a long new post about Season 8 titled Improving the New Player's Experience. So I haven't read it yet and we are gonna go over it together. If you want to read it yourself, you will have the link directly in the description and in the pinned comment. So, Improving the New Player Experience, Playstyles, written by Matt Lowy, design director for the finals. I'm so sorry if I said your name wrong. One of our primary goals for 2025 has been to improve the experience of playing the finals for new players. And with more players than ever entering the arena, I'm here to talk to you about the next phase of those efforts, a new way to unlock specializations, weapons and gadgets in the game. But don't panic, they are still available to fully unlock just by playing. Let's jump into the details. So research. To achieve our goal of improving the onboarding process for new contestants, we've run a series of tests to better understand what a new player encounters in their first few hours, including testing different default game modes for new players, TDM, Power Shift, Head-to-Head, instead of Quick Cash. So head-to-head might be a new player experience mode. That's interesting. I was wondering what the point of head-to-head is. Personally, it doesn't appeal to me because I play World Tour and I play casual modes, so a casual final round only mode was weird to me, but apparently it might also be a new player experience. Very interesting. So all of this instead of Quick Cash. Playtester sessions where new players narrated their first hours in the game to highlight places where they were confused and how they learned, tested different loadouts for first-time players and different starting body types, adjusting the rate at which new players unlock weapons. One of the biggest takeaways from our research is that new players arriving in the finals with past experience in other FPS games don't immediately understand the variety on offer from the large array of specializations, gadgets, weapons and tools made available to them in our giant sandbox of a game. Instead, their focus almost immediately goes to the gun and using it to solve every problem. Yeah, so this is something you can notice when you watch, for example, if you watched Moist Critical's gameplay recently, even though he played the game a bit in the past, it's very much Call of Duty-like, I wanna say, which is not an insult, it's more like when you start playing the finals, you don't realize the scope of all the options you have, and this is not made easy by Embark themselves, because when you start playing, until a few patches ago, when they buffed that, you would take like at least 100-150 hours to unlock every gadget and weapon, and even though you would do that, you would need to grind like even more to get every sight on every weapon, or at least one sight on every gun. So that was not great. They made it easier to earn VRs. They give you 5k VRs after like 3 games now, and everything costs less. So I think after like 3 games, you can already unlock 10 weapons and or gadgets and or specializations. But apparently they might rework that even further. We understand this temptation. Guns are fun to use, provide immediate feedback, and offer a core test of skill, but when we first set out to build the finals, we knew we wanted to make an FPS that was more than that. We wanted to make an FPS that was about interactivity, creativity, and chaos, while using dynamism to outthink your opponent should feel as powerful as outshooting them. We believe that's why many of you fell in love with the game. Yeah, I really like how in the finals, what matters in most modes, aside from TDM, is not to get the kill, it's to get the objective. Power Shift, Quick Cash, Cash Out, Ranked, World Tour, Head-to-Head, all of these, you want to get the objective, and it's especially apparent in Cash Out modes. I play a lot of World Tour, and I recently made a video about my Road Shield build, in which, for the first time since I started playing the finals, I used Smoke, and even now on Sniper, which is my new favorite weapon at the moment, I also play Smoke. The reason is smokes allow you to get such great steal opportunities. And even when I'm faced against rubies and we are clearly outplayed, outskilled, I mean, when it comes to the aim, game sense and stuff like that, you can, with a combination of goo, attacking the enemies with a few players on your team and stealing with another, and being concealed by smoke, get steals and win games against players that are way better than you, even if you have fewer kills, less damage, less healing, etc. So I really appreciate that about the finals. Now, enter Playstyles. With Season 8, we want new players to immediately see the variety the finals has to offer. That's why we're introducing Playstyles with a pre-made contestant template combining a specialization, weapon and gadgets into a recognizable style of play. Kind of like a class system, or like in Call of Duty, when you first open the game, you have preset loadouts with different weapons and gadgets. Each comes with a strong fantasy behind it, something new players can instantly connect with. Here is a first look at 3 of the 10 playstyles available. Scout, light build, grapple hook, SR sniper rifle, sonar grenade, thermal bore. Whoa, 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 let's watch this and look at it carefully. So this UI looks sick. So lights are yellow, mediums are blue, heavies are red, and there is one build per specialization. So basically Embark is giving you one build per specialization with a different weapon each time, I assume, and different gadgets that I would assume all synergize well with others. So of course grapple sniper, very great for taking high ground, quick escape. Sonar grenade for giving intel to your team, thermal borg for creating lines of sight, and the frag grenade which you can throw from a safe distance to get damage and defend your cash out. We have, look at this, we have difficulty, health, and speed. So just like in games such as League of Legends, Overwatch, and stuff, when you come into the game it can be very overwhelming, and we can see here the game tries to nudge you in the direction you might like the most by giving you like a few, statistics bars and a description. Specializes in tracking opponents and long distance combat, ideal for contestants who prefer staying on the move and keeping enemies in sight. Apply playstyle. So they call builds playstyle, at least in this part of the game. So Scout is medium difficulty, low health, because lights of course have the lowest health, and the highest base speed. We also have Assassin, so highest difficulty, lowest health of course, and highest speed. What's the build? Build is throwing knives in Vs plus Vanish Bomb with Breach Charge and Poison Nade. Specializes in cloaking and close range combat, ideal for contestants who rely on stealth to get in close and catch enemies off guard. So it's defensive, sneaky loadout. Alright. Oh, you can also go and try and practice immediately. Very cool. Yeah, this has no sound by the way. We have Duelist, so again a light, lowest difficulty, medium difficulty, sorry, lowest health and highest speed. Specializes in hit and run tactics and disabling opponents. So of course, that's why you have the Nullifier, Flashbang, and Glitch Nade with a dash and M11. I like this build. Ideal for contestants who prefer quick engagements and disrupting their opponents. Right, at least I was afraid of saying goofy stuff or boring stuff such as, M11, Frag Nade, Fire Nade, etc. Some games, because they are just like Call of Duty and games like that, they just give you very basic stuff you have seen 1,000 times, but The Finals is trying to do exactly the opposite of that right now. So that's very interesting, looks really cool, looks very nice. Demolisher, oh, we're gonna see every heavy and every medium build as well. Alright, let's get into it. So, Guardian, lowest difficulty, lowest speed, highest health. So this guy has Mesh Shield and Dome Shield, of course, with healing. Frag Nade, kinda weird. I would have said Grenade. I haven't seen a Grenade yet, despite Grenade being extremely unique to the Finals, extremely fun, and every time I make a video I cannot help but tell you that it's the best gadget in the game, the most fun, the most versatile. I absolutely love it. I would have put maybe Grenade or Barricade here. That's an interesting choice. Specializes in protection and team support through shields and healing. Ideal for contestants who bring a shield to a gunfight and win anyway. So that's support heavy basically. Demolisher, medium difficulty, high health, slowest speed. So Minigun of course has destructive abilities. RPG is designed for that. Mines, explosive mines specifically, charge and slam, my favorite specialization for heavies. I only play that because I find it so fun to just run through walls, run through people. It's typically the Finals. I think this is one of the best starter builds, not in terms of meta, but in terms of understanding what the Finals is about and testing the limits of the destruction engine. Very cool. Fire Nade, kinda random, but I mean, it's a destruction themed build. I would have went for C4, but I think they also want you to maybe have equipment that you know from other games and instantly understand how to use. RPG, we all know how that works. Mine, we all know how that works. Fire Grenade, we all know how that works. Now, when it comes to Goo Grenade, it's not as obvious because not many games have it, which is why I'm excited to see the Goo Gun build though. So, Winch Claw Shack, oh my god, this is just meta. Winch Claw Shack, Lockbolt, Proximity Sensor, and Gas Grenade. Gas Grenade again! Still no Goo Grenade, surprising. Lowest speed, highest health, medium difficulty. Specializes in restricting and manipulating enemy movement. Ideal for contestants who lock down space, pace, and any opponent in their way. Yeah, that makes sense, that's a good build. Maybe I would have paired Smoke with Proximity Sensor. Like, the Gas Grenade, again, seems a bit random. but it's also very straightforward, straight to the point, very obvious how it works, so maybe that's the logic behind it. Strategist. Oh yeah, Chaos could have worked for the destruction build. Highest difficulty, highest health. Nice, highest difficulty. Yeah, like Guggen alone, I think, is enough to qualify this as the highest difficulty build. Chaos is a punishing weapon to use. C4, not for everyone. I personally never use it. Barricade and Smoke, I believe. Interesting. Specializes in fortification and manipulating the environment, ideal for contestants who like to dictate movement through strategic terrain control. Alright, very interesting. It's super weird seeing these 3D models, and the background look very cool. Do we have anything new? Nice profile picture. I don't notice anything special in the UI that we haven't talked about before. And now let's get to the 3 medium playstyles. I was gonna say build or loadout, but it's playstyle. Medic, AK, defib, jump pad, frag. Oh, and alright. So basically, I think this is already in the game. Currently, I think this has not been modified. As we can notice, this is also the most average build in terms of difficulty, health, and speed. So yeah, medium definitely is supposed to be the most balanced and probably beginner-friendly class. Maybe after heavy when it comes to beginner friendliness. Specializes in supporting their team with healing and mobility, ideal for contestants who heal like a hero, moving like a menace. Alright, well, this build makes sense. Guardian turret, model, APS, glitch trap, and goo grenade. Finally, goo grenade, engineer. It's funny to call them engineer, alright. See, what I really love about this concept is now new players are gonna get into games where they're gonna be met with many tools and be like, what is this thingy that glitches me? Oh, I can shoot it. What is this weird grenade? It creates worlds, but how? They might go to the wiki, they might search for guides, they might learn it themselves in the practice range and test stuff around. It's gonna be very much more exciting, I believe, than having to unlock stuff one by one and be automatically drawn to what appeals you the most, which might just be what you are most comfortable with, such as, you know, grenades, mines, and that's it. So I really like the approach. Hacker, alright. The most average build in terms of difficulty, health, and speed. FAMAS, Dematerializer, Data Reshaper, no way. I can't wait for new players to be met with a freaking Data Reshaper and be clueless about how to, like, learn accidentally that they can reshape objects into canisters. With Zipline and Fire Grenade is kinda weird. I guess they already put gas and frag grenade in many of the other builds. Well, DMAT for me is the best medium specialization, the most fun specialization, the most fun ability in any FPS game I have ever played, so I'm glad to see it accessible to new players, just like that. Alright, this looks extremely cool. Each playstyle contains 4 core items, specialization, weapon, 2 gadgets. 2 gadgets? The remaining 5 items that make up the playstyle's complete loadout and reserve come from a pool of automatically unlocked starter items. Ah, I get it. Alright. So, for example, Fragnade, Gasnade, and Firenades are automatically unlocked starter items, I guess. So, actually, you have these by default, and like 2 or 3 more gadgets here. Alright. Unlocking playstyles. Starting in Season 8, new players arriving in the finals will unlock 3 playstyles by default when they first boot up the game, and they will immediately be granted a playstyle token that will allow them to unlock a 4th playstyle of their choice. That's so cool. Every few rounds, over the player's first 20 rounds played, they will unlock additional playstyles tokens until they have unlocked all of the current playstyles. The sharp-eyed among you will have realized that this new feature doesn't include all the items currently in the game, and that is correct, yeah, of course. Alongside playstyles, there is also a pool of 20 plus 5 unlockable items. These remain exactly as before, purchased with VRs. So, not only did they recently make VRs easier to earn, because after a few games you get 5k, they made everything cheaper, and now you are gonna have full builds unlocked with tokens, so you are gonna have so many things unlocked fast. This is a great change. Thank you so much, Embark, for doing this. My god, new players are gonna be so freaking hyped about it. For existing players, if you are a seasoned player of the finals, you are likely well past your first 20 rounds and have unlocked plenty of equipment. When Season 8 launches, you will automatically receive all of the 15 starter items, whether you have already unlocked them or not. Alright. So this should be like AK, frag grenade, smoke grenade, poison grenade, goo grenade, stuff like that. Explosive mine, I bet. If you already own any item in an existing playstyle, you will receive the rest of the items in that set immediately. Oh, damn. If you don't now own any core items in a playstyle, it will be unlocked and you will have to play a small number of matches to earn a playstyle token. All future playstyles will follow this same system. You will need to play a small number of rounds to earn a token and unlock the playstyle. Alright, this might sound complex. I don't think it sounds too complex. but once the initial transition has occurred, it should be fairly intuitive. Most importantly, for new players coming in from Season 8 onwards, unlocking equipment should be very clear and easy to follow. My god, Embark, they have a very good timing with this one, because we suddenly have a surge of new players. It's been like 2-3 weeks since the most critical induced hype, and now we're about to get a new season, which will make the game, of course, more popular. Season starts are when the game is the most popular, with a surge of new players, big creators talking and playing the game, and at this exact moment we get a better onboarding experience. And even if you just started playing like with the most critical hype, you will also benefit from these changes, because if you already own some of the core items in a playstyle, you will automatically unlock the rest of the items on that playstyle. So it's giga cool overall. Not a hero shooter. We really want to stress at this point that player styles are not heroes, and as much as we love hero shooters and MOBAs at Embark, we are not planning to turn the finals into either. The finals is a hero builder where you freely mix and match species, weapons and gadgets to create builds, and to this you can also add customizations of your outfit, I mean. Playstyles are simply a set of templates that will better introduce new players to the wealth of varied gameplay in the finals. They also make unlocking items faster and more intuitive, and this will ensure our newbies have a much better time getting to grips with our pretty complex game. From the start of Season 8, whenever you create a new contestant, instead of selecting light, medium or heavy, you will select one of the available playstyles. This is to offer some consistency across the game's UI. From that point onward, you will be free to fully customize your contestant as you see fit, as you always have. Alright, so by default you will have one of the playstyles, and then you modify it. The big picture. This system will give new players a clearer and faster introduction, immediately showing them the varieties the game has to offer and the wide array of strategies and tactics at their fingertips. To our existing fans, these changes should have a low impact on your experience while also helping new players join this community. It's never been a better time to get your friends to play the finals. See you in Season 8. I find it quite funny how they seem to be extremely precautious in this post, talking to the existing and veteran players, as if, I mean, do you guys have any issue with this? If you are an experienced player already, leave me a comment about your opinion. Do you think this affects you in a wrong way? In any way? Because I feel like this is only good overall for everyone involved. At worst, if you are like me and you have unlocked everything, it doesn't change anything for you, and that's the worst part. Everything else is just people benefiting from it. So I think it's only good, right? This is great. I don't see any detail I would have missed, such as new weapon icons or a new weapon whatsoever. I don't think I missed that. I would have seen it. So if you noticed any details that I missed, please leave a comment as well. Now, if you plan to bring your friends to the finals, make sure that you take advantage of the Recruit and Rise program, which is a feature you can find from the main menu, where by playing with a new player that has played less than 20 rounds, you both earn cosmetic items, and I have seen very few people rocking these cosmetics. It's still very rare. I hope you enjoyed this little recap. I hope you cared about, you know, my opinion on stuff and my reaction to it. I hope this content is something you like. Shout out to my YouTube members, and special shout out to my tier 2 and tier 3 members, TJ, Megaloo, Exotic Spoon and Jolly Goodman. And on that note, I will see you at the finals.